Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever part of the world you're watching this presentation. My name is Adam Kipkeme. I'm from Kenya. I work for a telecommunication company called Telecom Kenya, one of the leading telecommunication as a geospatial manager. I deal with mostly mapping and analytics, data analytics in the organization. So today I'm going to take you through how we harness the power of PostGIS to optimize sales distribution and to reduce GSM churn here in Kenya. Main point of focus will be optimizing SIM cards, where we call starter pack also. We also refer to as starter packs in other parts of the world, and airtime, voucher distribution through geospatial intelligence. As a sales team, I work in the commercial, which is sales and marketing, and also help in rollout of the network. But in the sales the sales team in the organization normally faces various distribution challenges, which results in sales distribution inefficiencies. And so our current GSM sales teams faces significant challenges, and they've been outlined, as you can see. Majorly, there's an issue of stock unavailability, where we look in this study, we're going to look at SIM card and voucher outages in given sales clusters. And when we look at a sales cluster, that is the most granular region or area of administration in our sales company, and is manned by a sales agent called Sales Commando. So these commandos normally have manual routing. Just wake up today, I'm going to do this route, and there is a tendency for them to be stuck to a given profitable route, leaving out other areas that they deem unprofitable or not lucrative and served. So if there is inefficient routing planning leads to wasted time and resources by even sometimes serving an assigned route. All this is due to lack of spatial intelligence. So there's been, for a long time, most organizations have not been embracing the power of spatial data to make informed decisions. And therefore, the sales teams, we've ensured that there is at least a facet or a segment of our sales commandos or managers who embrace and use this spatial intelligence. Also in the market, they face a lot of poor visibility because of areas that are not well branded, or you can say that our distribution is not evenly distributed in terms of branding and visibility. There's also issues of coverage. We have issues of GSM coverage. There's a bit of inconsistency or incomplete coverage across the sales clusters. All these inefficiencies results in lost opportunities, lost revenues, lost sales opportunities, and also it increases churn, because if the areas are not well served, they result in poor service delivery and therefore resulting in churn. So this project aims to transform sales and distribution through harnessing the power of PostGIS. And some of the facets that we're going to pick in the field as the commandos go to visit the outlets, in as much as they pick some very important information, Like, for instance, they pick information on attributes on whether the outlet had been served well, whether there was an outage, and they also look at how the visibility is it well branded, and they note it down. In as much as they pick all this data, there's also the component of uh, coordinates that are picked. They're picked automatically from the tool, and these coordinates, we look at the field accuracy, and we have set some thresholds to ensure that whatever data is mapped with the right location. Therefore, this is a clear indication that the people or the commando served a certain route, because we can real time or later look at the way they served the customer or the client. So also, this project also look at how we're going to optimize these clusters to ensure that there is a balanced and efficient sales territory, because these clusters, as I'm going to show, are supposed to serve certain sites. And when we call here BTS sites, or we call masts, masts are telecommunication equipment that propagate signal. And each is treated as a profitable entity. And therefore, there should be products and services to ensure that it improves its usage. And all these we're going to try to address in this with this tool. And all these at the end of the day is to ensure that decisions that are made are data driven, leveraging the spatial analytics to improve sales strategies. In a nutshell, you can see three maps on the first farthest right. This is the sales region, which is further subdivided into sales zones, and then further subdivided into clusters. Clusters are the most granular, and these are the ones that which are served by the sales commandos or the field agents. So you can see we have the field agents. This is the hierarchical structure. We have the sales commandos, who are the field agents responsible for direct sales at the cluster level. And these are the customer facing personnel. And they report to the zonal manager, who oversees a number of commandos within a given sales zone. Then we also have the regional managers, who oversee the zonal managers and the commandos, and the regional managers report to the sales director. The map here shows the topmost map is what I shown in the previous slide, and the below map is the one on our current coverage. I just picked one signal, and this is the GSM coverage of showing the 3G coverage. And therefore, we are looking at these polygons, how we draw them. We ensure that they contain, there are multiple, they are defined polygons, and each polygon contains outlets or shops that these clusters are supposed to be visited, that are being visited, that keep on being visited by the sales agents, to ensure that there is proper distribution of our services. That is the SIM card and the airtime. So PostGIS will ensure that there is no overlap of the clusters. That means that in this sense, we're talking about when we allocate a commando a given cluster, they're not supposed to go to another person's cluster just to cannibalize or make more sales, just in case they feel lazy or they find it to be more lucrative to sell there or easier to sell there. We just want them to be on their assigned clusters. And that has been a major problem, where you have a commando, they just start selling where they live, where they reside, instead of going to market. So this is to ensure that the clusters are well designed to optimize the workload and minimize travels. We look at how we do the routing. So as I've seen, we ensure that we also will be giving some information, some intel based on this project. We can tell you how far you're from your base station or the mast. And these are some of the functions in PostGIS that we use, like the distance from the BTS and whether you're within a given cluster. So ST within and ST distance. What you're looking at here is a small report of the data that has been picked from the field. I just decided to just do some dummy data because we have data protection and the Kenyan laws do not allow you to divulge private information without their authorization. So this is confidential company data. So I just did some dummy for visualization to show how we are able to pick the accuracy in the field and the dates that were done, the timestamp. So we ensure that when we go to the field, the data that is picked in terms of GPS is accurate by enforcing uh, GPS accuracy by minimizing it or putting it not more than 30 meters, greater than 30 meters, equal or greater than 30 meters. And this data is sent to the CRM, which contains information about our network performance, it contains information about our site performance, and it contains information about the customer activity. So these comprehensive data ensure once we pick data in the field, we ensure that we have reliable spatial analysis when we at the back end or in the office. It also informs real-time sales commandos that where they are serving the right clusters because it has alerts and prompts. So it will alert you that it will tell you that this is the cluster that you're serving at a given time, and upon pinning the location, you can be able to know that you're serving. Maybe you've encroached to someone else's, either whether you've encroached to someone else's cluster, but it will show you that this is the name of the cluster and you're in the right cluster based on your credentials that you've used to log in. Then next, so this is how the tool is. The tool basically picks the accuracy and it tells you that if you overshoot the accuracy, like for this in this instance, we're just using maybe Wi-Fi translation or BTS translation is not very accurate and it might not give you the right accurate, so it will throw an error and tell you the accuracy is out of the 30 meters threshold. So you can reload the GPS, there's a button, you can do that. So, and that is how to achieve the accuracy. So I'm going to take you through the architecture. We are working on we are using Django as our backend, and we have a database as Postgres with PostGIS, and these are some of the way we query. We use SQL or inbuilt ORM in Django. Basically, we have geometries like the polygons, which are the clusters and the regions and the zones. The polyline is the sales routes that we've given you that you're supposed to use to go to the field, and then the points are some of the outlets that you go visit, and then they're going to be picked and pushed back to the backend. We have some spatial constraints to ensure that you're within and is valid. These are some of the constraints. And we have also some of the functions and triggers where it alerts you on compliance just to enforce the spatial integrity. You're within the right polygon cluster for the right assignment, as I mentioned before. So optimizing sales agents route also, we have the PG routing to improve route efficiency. So this is to minimize redundant travels for sales commandos so that when they go to market, they just don't go far. They just know that if they use this route and this route, they will efficiently cover the area without wastage of time. And optimize the outlet coverage is within, of course, I've mentioned that is to ensure that whatever you're serving, the cluster is within whatever you've been assigned. The algorithm considers network, traffic, and outlets. So linking a network usage with sales data, spatial analysis reveals key insights. We try to correlate sales data with network performance data, which is based on our CRM and some analytic tools. So we identify which base station or the masts are underserved and are impacting negatively on sales. We also pinpoint churn hotspots for targeted interventions. This is when we just correlate the loyalty and retain, we're working with the loyalty and retention team and the revenue planning team to ensure that every BTS is profitable. So this is a visualization of the weekly visit of a given commando. You can see this commando, they tend to encroach and leave out other places. As you can see, this commando has gone. If you look at the green indicates the extent of a given zone, and then the blue is the clusters that each commando is given. You find that some of these commandos, they leave their clusters and jump into someone else's clusters. And this normally happens during the end of the month when they're running to hit their targets, and they tend to have sales cannibalism and inefficiency just to close the sale and hit the target. So these are some of the things that we're trying to discourage. And you can see that they went to look for to serve other areas, other clusters and zones, and left out, like you can see where here the underserved arrow is indicating. So these are some of the things that we're trying to discourage. And the managers normally have some measures. For instance, they can reduce your commission for these starter packs and airtime that was sold, and they look at the serial numbers, and they will not pay commission. Sometimes they don't pay commission, just to discourage encroachment and moving out of your zone. So all these smart monitoring and alerts are powered by PostGIS, because the PostGIS triggers enable us for out of zone agent activities. So you can tell that if someone is operating out of your zone because of is not within is not within the defined cluster. So that's we harness the power of PostGIS in that level. So as I mentioned before, we also look at missing data. We've enforced some integrity checks, consistency checks, and when there's low GPS also for accuracy, this is how we just do this to improve our data quality and compliance. Some of these notifications are pushed through SMSs or even to the email of the agent. But since most agents are in the field, it is easier for them to get notifications on SMS, but also the app itself. It has its own notification that, okay, today you had this number of sites that were not within this number of visits that were not within your area. Sorry for that. This number of visits that were not within your area. So, and also we look at the dashboards. So the dashboard for the supervisors for real-time compliance. This is to ensure that they know who is in the field and who is somewhere else. There's some people who are fond of, maybe they say they're in the field, but maybe that day they just went a half day and then they went and did their activity and they did their own activity. So this shows how the visits were, how long a certain visit was before the next visit. And the most important thing is to pick the location. All this resulted in a spatial organization. There was a big impact that we've been noticing impact as we continue to harness the power of spatial data. So we've noticed that there's increased coverage in the sales zones, and they can be, since they are monitored in real time, so they can be able to know that this sales commando is serving a given cluster efficiently and effectively, and these are rating. Improved coverage outlet coverage and visibility. So that one there's a lot of improvement visibility because they always indicate whether there was branding and whether they branded, whatever was removed, they replaced posters and everything. This has improved in efficiency in sales operation by reducing the sales overlap, whereby an outlet is not being served by two or more commandos within a given day or given week. So there's a lot of ensuring that there's efficiency in that field. So we've also looked at the targeted sales effort has improved the performance per BTS, which is the GSM equipment for propagating the signal, and also due to improved services, there's been reduced churn by giving customers good services and closing the sales gaps. So all these is ensuring that outlet routes are well branded, more competitive, and these are also we have enhanced our decision making process and for the managers and the executive committee and also reporting is that we ensure that many people have access to reports, including the people on the ground. The next steps, we're looking at integrating with AI algorithms to look at the AI-driven demand mapping, where we are able to get an AI visit plan based on that has minimum human intervention by interconnecting all the data points to make informed decision. So we're also looking at real-time dashboards for all staff working for various KPIs. Currently, we are limited to mostly the sales teams. We also want to wrap up, loop the network maintenance team and the finance team. We're looking at also churn prediction, which is already happening, but maybe integrating it with our sales and distribution. In conclusion, mapping for market intelligence, we had key takeaways. PostGIS has transformed our sales operations into a geospatially intelligent system, enabled data-driven decisions for improved sales performance and reduced churn. Spatial data is our sales power. PostGIS has ensured fairness, no market cannibalism, efficiency, and growth. So thank you so much to the PostGIS community for granting me this opportunity to showcase what I do in this other part of the world. Thank you to my team also, the field team, and also the backend team, the CRM, and the data teams for the collaboration in data integration and analysis. So thank you so much. If you have any question and answer session.